Years. No, this isn't right.
I just remember thinking, this is just like Crimewatch. I've got to remember the details. It's very important.
He made her undress and spent a long time just looking at her before saying he was going to get the car. Did you see a man leaving Orchard Avenue in the early hours of that morning? It was the second time he'd struck in this street. So far he'd stopped at indecent assault, but in the early hours of Friday the 5th of May, he finally committed rape in Wolverton near Chichester. He may have been in the area the night before the attack. In Mansa Road, a man was seen fitting the rapist's description, prowling around, looking at houses. The rape happened near this hotel in Yapton Lane, Wolverton.
I came back to my room and had a bath and washed my hair and everything, made myself a cup of tea. I had my stereo on, which I always have on. I think it's a comfort thing. That one thing that sticks in my mind all the time is when I first wake up. It's one thing that always does, and it still freaks me out now. I was absolutely petrified. My heart was beating really hard and really fast.
I'm looking for something.
But I could still hear my music playing.
I've got a knife. I don't want to have to use it.
From then on, I just thought I was dead. I honestly did. I just thought, you know, that's it. Oh my God, no. But I just thought he was either there for like jewellery or money. After he'd actually gagged me, that I knew that he wasn't there for anything else.
Don't scream.
He absolutely stunk of some sort of potent smell. It was petrol or some sort of turd. Stunk, it was disgusting.
I don't trust you. That's why I'm doing this. Okay.
I just lay down and just shut my eyes and just wished everything away. I tried to block that part out so much because I don't want to remember it. It just makes you feel awful. It just makes you feel dirty. It just makes you feel I don't know. Used and abused, really. Pure hatred. I do. I just hate him for what he's done and what he's put me through. I mean, I could be a complete wreck by now, but I just think that he's not going to ruin my life. He's really picked the wrong girl because I am such a strong person.
Well, good for her. Steve, I believe that because of the publicity surrounding tonight's programme and featuring this case, you've had 6 more women come forward already.
That's right. One of our appeals is for women that have been attacked previously and haven't reported it to the police for whatever reason to contact us now. They might have that vital piece of information that we need to identify this man. 6 women have come forward recently to say that they've had a man looking in through their windows, a peeping Tom, and also that they've been followed in the street in the Chichester or Bognor area.
Now, what about Thursdays? The fact that he nearly always strikes on a Thursday. What are we to make of that?
Yes, it's strange, and I believe it is significant. It may be that Thursday is the night when he is out, perhaps that's the night that he works, or perhaps somebody in his house is out, and therefore he's able to go out when people don't know.
Or it may be that if he has friends, for example, and they want him to go out with them, he's never around on a Thursday, he's never available, or he comes back on a Friday agitated.
That's right, and what we're saying is if anybody knows who this person is, please call in now, make that call. And if you've got any suspicions at all, make the call, because there is forensic evidence from the rape last month and from an attack 2 years ago. That forensic evidence is linked, so it'd be very easy for us to eliminate any innocent person.
And what about a description? You've got a good description, haven't you?
Yes, we've spoken to all the witnesses and re-seen them again. We know that the man is probably in his 20s, although some of the victims say that he may be in his early 30s. He's a white man, he's got short, dark hair, and sometimes it's spiky up at the top, and he's always unshaven.
And he may be from the Chichester area, presumably?
Yes, I think there's a strong possibility that he either lives or works in the Chichester area.
OK, well, there's a reward of up to £20,000. If you know anything, or if you've been a victim of this man, please call the studio on 0500 600 600 or the incident room on 01243 843 599. If you've been a victim of rape or any other crime and you need to talk to someone at Victim Support Line, you can call 0845 30 30 900.
Now, some footage of two men carrying out what I think is a very callous crime, tricking a confused and elderly lady. This is in Ashton-under-Lyme near Manchester in early February. A hidden police camera captures one of the pair spinning a yarn about delivering carpets. Meanwhile, his mate searches the house and they run off, taking the woman's purse and her money. Let's put these two behind bars. 0500 600 600 or 0161 856 9540.
And who is this man? He's one of a pair who robbed a bottoms-up off-licence in Formby in Merseyside. Now, see them coming in on Monday, 6th of March. After violently assaulting the assistant, they tied her up in the back room and stole cash and cigarettes. Both were about 25 with strong Liverpool accents. They seemed to be strangers to the Formby area because just before the attack, two men fitting the description and driving a red van asked for directions. Please help us find the bottoms-up robbers and you could be eligible for a substantial reward. Call 0151 777 3465.
In April, we showed a photo of a woman who'd been on a spending spree with a selection of stolen and fraudulent credit cards. A woman was arrested at Dixon's in Bromley in Kent in May and has been charged with a large number of deceptions. In January, we appealed for information on the killing of an East London shopkeeper, Sukhdev Gill. We showed two possible suspects. As a result of the programme, two men have been charged with robberies, but independently of Crimewatch, two other men have now been charged with Sukhdev's murder. Do you remember this CCTV footage from January's programme? These two seem oblivious of the camera as they come into an Alliance and Leicester in Liverpool. They put on disguises before robbing the building society. As a result of calls to Crimewatch, 26-year-old Paul Michael Holmes from Liverpool has now been sentenced to 5 years for robbery. But his accomplice has never been caught. If you know who he is, give us a call.
And our number live to the studio is 0500 600 600.
There really are signs that we might do really well tonight and have a lot more to report next month, indeed later on tonight. We're getting some intriguing calls on the murders in Clydach, and I'll tell you about those later on if we get the chance. On the height of the push, we've just been overwhelmed with calls. Please, no more on flashing telephone aerials. We know all about those, but we've got names coming in from police officers, names coming in from prison officers, names coming in from all sorts of other people as well. So that is looking very strong at the moment, even though it looked like quite a long shot getting anywhere with that. But now, an extraordinary case. It's become known as the Telford hangings, and there's one person out there who could solve it. We hope she, and we know it's definitely a woman, is watching tonight. When Errol McGowan and his nephew Jason were both found hanged at 6 months of each other, it looked like two related suicides. But after a high-profile campaign by their family, the police opened a major investigation. Now that much is already well known. What we can reveal tonight is that the police have received a letter, and it's an extraordinary one. It was sent anonymously, but the writer clearly knows a great deal about Errol and Jason's deaths. Tonight, we appeal to her to make contact again.
Paul McGowan was a 34-year-old building labourer and nightclub bouncer. On Friday the 2nd of July last year, Errol left for work at 6:30 in the morning, but never arrived. At 8 a.m, his van was seen parked in Urban Gardens, Telford, outside a house belonging to a friend. At 10:30, two men were seen on the drive of the house. Who were they? At 2:40 that afternoon, Errol's van was spotted by his friend Malik, who, concerned, he says, at Errol's mysterious disappearance, called the police. At 3 o'clock, police broke down the door of the house and found Errol hanging from the door handle. 6 months later, on New Year's Eve, Errol's nephew Jason went out to the Elephant and Castle pub in Ketley. Early next morning, he was found hanged from some railings at Ketley Recreation Park.
Errol's brother Noel is here now, along with Detective Superintendent Mel Shaw, who's a senior officer investigating. Noel, how does the family think they died?
And the family are not sure how they died, but the family want to find out the truth about the circumstances surrounding their deaths.
What are relations like now with the police? Because they were pretty bad at one stage. You thought the police had made a real mess of the investigations.
The relationship with the police was non-existent to begin with. Now the relationship's on a better footing and things are progressing.
The not knowing, I know, it's taking a big toll on the family. It's very, very hard.
It's been very hard for the family. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not sure what happened, they just want to come to the truth.
Mel, tell us